Turn on the key. Oh, look at that. Hey everyone, this is Andrew at Plainview Farm. And if you look over my right shoulder here, you'll notice that the Kioti tractor is not where I normally park it. Nope, not there. It's not beside the barn. It's not behind the barn. It's not over here. It's not over there. All right, I'll quit messing around. The Kioti tractor's gone. I sold it. And I'll tell you this, it was really nice to have a cab tractor, but I've used it for its intended purpose, so I sent it on down the road. If you remember from a previous video, I mentioned that I bought the tractor for the purpose of cleaning all the brush trees, like the Eastern Red Cedars and the Bradford pears out of this field here behind me. Well, as you can see, that job is done. I still have a few brush piles laying out here. There's one right here next to this pole, one out there, two more out here by the pond, and then this one over here not far from the gate. So the big question is, now that the Kioti's gone, what am I gonna do? So what I'm gonna do is use the Farmall to replace the Kioti as my loader tractor, because I really don't use a loader all that much except in the winter time or maybe during hay season whenever I move a few bales around. And the kind of three-point work I do really doesn't require that large of a tractor. So I'm gonna show you a tractor that I've had on the farm for a long time. Actually, I've used it for a long time, but I don't know that I've ever shown it to you on the channel before. So what I have here is a 1973 John Deere 820. This is a 3-cylinder diesel tractor, and it's about 35 horsepower, somewhere in that range. My dad bought this tractor whenever I was a kid. I honestly don't remember exactly when it was, but this was our do-everything tractor. This was our hay mowing tractor, our hay raking tractor. For a short time, it was used to run a small square baler. This was our tractor that we used to pull the wood wagon. You could probably even say that this tractor was our first ATV. And I've probably spent more time with this tractor than I have any other in my life. I've owned 3000 Ford, a little diesel 3000 Ford that I had for a little while. Obviously the Kioti, the Farmall. I've been around several other tractors that my family has owned over the years. At one time or another, it seems like there's been a tractor of just about every color around. And of all of those tractors, this little John Deere is probably my favorite of all of them. This is the tractor that I learned how to drive a tractor on. This is the tractor that I've used more than any in my life. But over the last few years, this tractor has been used very, very little. So what I actually need to do today is put a new starter on it, and I bought a new battery for it, and well, we're gonna see if we can get it started. So as you can see, I've already taken the old starter off. It's laying right there. This starter here has been on the tractor for several years, and it's actually been acting up quite a bit recently, which is one of the reasons that I really haven't used it all that much. On this style of John Deere, in order to get to the battery, you have this little door right here, but the battery generally will not fit out of this opening. So there is a bolt here, 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 and then one up at the top. And then the side panel comes right off so you can gain access to the battery compartment. And I'll tell you, one of my favorite things about this tractor is, as long as the battery is strong enough, it pretty well will start in any weather conditions. And this tractor does not have glow plugs. It doesn't have anything like that. It just always starts. These tractors were made in Germany, so everything on them is metric. The starter bolts are actually 14 millimeter. Oh, am I going to be able to do this without taking the dipstick out? Yeah. Whenever I took that starter out, I had to remove the oil dipstick. So we will do that again. All right, so this is gonna be take 2 of replacing the starter and putting the new battery on this tractor, because the first starter that I bought would not fit, did not fit like it was supposed to. It hit the fuel pump, which is right here, and I thought that I could kind of wiggle it around and maneuver things and get it to work, but no, it was just, I don't know, about 3/4 of an inch too long. There really wasn't any way that I could move things around, you know, taking anything off, trying to get it together. So I ended up getting a different starter. There's, I guess, a couple different styles on these tractors. I, you know, should have done a little research up front, but this right here is what I need, and this actually looks a lot like what was on it. So we'll get this put on there and see if we can't get this tractor going. Okay. Now take the dipstick out, possibly again. Oh, look at that. Didn't have to take the dipstick out for this one. Fit right on there. Had to take the dipstick out for the original. Which probably means that this starter isn't going to be enough to spin it. Seems to be the way things go. There we go. Got that nut started. It's a stud, as I mentioned in the previous attempt. Instead of a bolt on top, again, there's a stud. Charles has come to supervise. Would you hire me? I didn't think so. Plainview Farm. That's why we call it Plainview Farm, in case you didn't know. Now we will hook up our lead from the battery. Turn it up. Now, find the ignition wire. Get it connected. Next, we will hook up the battery and the negative cable, or ground cable, however you like to describe it. All right, so I've got the starter on, got it wired up, got the battery hooked up. I'm going to take it out of gear. These things have a park, but I know the gear shift has been messed with, and I don't know, I always psych myself out on that kind of stuff, so I just put it in neutral. Turn on the key. Oh, look at that. That's what we like to see. Now all these wires hanging down right here, they'll be fine. I'm reasonably sure that they'll be fine. So while this tractor runs for a minute, I'm going to go ahead and put the side panel back on here over the battery box. I believe I mentioned earlier in the earlier part of the video that this tractor has always started without any problems. I mean, if it doesn't start, there's something wrong with it. And it has nothing to do with weather, it has nothing to do with how long it's sit, but the point is that this thing always starts. It has been like that since I was a kid. I'll put the drawbar on here. Keep the 3-point arms from swaying too much. Hate it when they bump into the tires. There's the goats. How you doing, goats? That's the only calf we haven't weaned yet. She is a very good-looking heifer. I'm very proud of her. Her mama is a really good cow, which means we may end up keeping her to breed. You know, there really is something satisfying about getting a tractor going that hasn't run in a while. I guess it's probably a little bit shameful that I let it sit for so long. But I can promise you this, we'll be making good use of it now that the Kiotie's gone. As always, if you didn't find this video to at least be useful, I hope you found it entertaining. We'll see you next time.